So let me give you the injury update. So Frank Clark has had a little bit of a stomach virus, so he's been sick. It's not COVID. And then Darius Harris is been excused for personal reasons. Keys had an orbital fracture that he got actually before he got here. I think you know about Martinez and Thornhill and Keys. They're the same that we've had with PUP and NFI. So and then Lawrence again is excused for personal reasons, and then Yelder has a slight groin strain, so he's working through that. Listen, I just wanted to shout out to Howard Mudd's family. Howard was a great chief as a coach. Great mentor to me, and then I actually had a chance to hire him when I was in Philadelphia as my line coach. Phenomenal football coach, Hall of Fame football coach, and nobody did better. But my thoughts and prayers are with his family, his wife Shirley, and the kids. So that's a tough situation, and I've had a chance to visit with Shirley, and they're bearing down through it. So, but tough times to them, and they can use all our prayers. Good to get changing the subjects here. So good to get the guys back into pads and going. It's been a bit of time, but we've had a great ramp up period with them. These guys have worked extremely hard. They came out today and worked extremely hard with the pads on and with some heat out there. And I'm proud of them for that. Their attitude obviously is important, and they've got a good one right now. So that's what we've got. Time's yours.
Go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. Wanted to ask you about Travis's deal. What's it like for you to have him for the long term now? But also, first Pat, Chris Jones, and now Travis. I mean, these guys seem like they want to stay. Now the Chiefs are stepping up financially, obviously. But is there anything else about what you guys have going on here that kind of leads you to leads guys to want to stay, you think?
Well, listen, my hat goes off to Clark Hunt. That's where it starts, and his support, and Brett Veach and Brett's crew, and and working these deals and getting it done. And then, listen, we appreciate the players and their attitude, and these are good guys, but they're good football players that like to play the game, and so you enjoy being around those guys, and you're proud of the effort that they put into wanting to stay, and then obviously from my standpoint, just Brett and again his crew for getting it done.
Let's go to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Coach, I asked you this a couple sessions ago, and I don't know. I think you kind of missed my point on where I was going with it. Can you, being that you were one of the guys that was instrumental in how, or at least in the conversation on how things are going to be run, can you, number one, tell me how much time you guys talked about or spent on the idea of having a bubble, of trying to bring all the teams to one or two or three locations and try to perform the season that way? And then secondly, was the subject ever brought up with your value to the organization, and also, no offense, like most of us getting older, right? Was there ever any discussion about you maybe not opting out, but maybe taking a role where you're not in the building and not around as much? Were there just any conversations ever broached by whether it was Clark or Brett or yourself on that subject as well?
The latter part, no. The first part, they had all those discussions before I was ever asked to be involved with it. So the fact that that's not the direction they wanted to go. I thought they had a good plan. They had input from both the union and the league, and it seemed like they were communicating well the opportunities that I had to be there. And it looks like a solid plan up to this point. So, like everybody else, we're taking it day by day, but I think the players understand that it's being well done here. But like all of us, coaches included here, we've got to be smart as we leave. And how we handle ourselves and just make sure we know kind of who we're hanging with and where they've been.
Let's go to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach. Good up. I guess it is still morning. Good morning. Two questions here for you, specific to players. Edwards-Helaire, and obviously you got a chance to see him before the pads came on, and then how impressed were you with what you saw with him today? And then the second one is on Tedrick Thompson, a former starter with the Seattle Seahawks. How much do you view him as a plug-and-play kind of guy, especially in light of Juan Thornhill's situation?
Yeah, well, I'll start with Tedrick. I mean, at the end there, we think he's a good football player. I'd like to just see more with him, have an opportunity to work in this system, but he's got good tape that we were able to evaluate. It's just a matter of getting everything down to where he feels comfortable with it. And then Clyde has been doing a lot of work with the first group, and so that's valuable work for him. Is everything perfect? No, not right now, but he's working like crazy to get it there, and he's got a good attitude about it.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. I'm writing something about Tyron, and I just wonder if you could describe what distinguishes his leadership and what it meant to you guys last year. And part of that also is, how is it being applied this year in these obviously different circumstances?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal leader. I mean, he's just it's hard to learn to be a leader. It's something that normally you innately have, and you've got to, I always say that good leaders, they need to keep their closet clean on their end and make sure they're doing the right things, or you're not going to be able to lead the right way. So I think he handles that, his life the right way, and how he goes about his business here the right way. And so if people need a little boost, he can give it to them. He talks to himself at the same time. He's a unique guy. I've enjoyed the 1 year that I've had to spend with him, and look forward to the future here.
Let's go to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. Wondering, you've talked about just the difficulty in repeating after winning. I know you don't view it maybe as repeating or defending anything, but did you do any research at all for other teams and what they've gone through and maybe what's worked and what hasn't? And if so, what'd you learn? And if not, I'm just wondering on your own, what do you sort of get at the importance, or how do you maintain an edge still?
Yeah, well, it's important to be able to do that for sure. The edge, to stay humble and keep working hard, I think are important also. I was lucky enough to be on a team that went to back-to-back Super Bowls. We won the first one, lost the second one. And then I had a chance to be lucky enough to be on teams that went to quite a few championships and a few in a row. So there's a tremendous amount of urgency that goes into that, and attention to detail. You hear coaches say this, but it's real if you want to if you want to play at that level. And there are a bunch of different things, obstacles that you have to go through during a season. I think it's no more evident than the one we just had. And so you've got to have the right mindset, and you literally have to take today and work on it to try to get myself better, and do it each play, and then do it tomorrow. And then you keep building that until you have opportunities to play games. And when you get into games, whether you win or lose, you've got to make sure that you learn and continue to grow from those games. And then on top of that, every once in a while, you need to catch a break here or there. That ball's not round; it bounces funny, and you hope it bounces your way, and you get a couple breaks in there. But the attention and detail becomes a huge thing for you, and be willing to work.
Go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, I was curious about Travis and his deal, and we've watched him sort of grow from this fiery young rookie to a little bit more mature as he got his second contract, and now is actually one of the older guys in the team. And from your point of view, just what it's been like to watch him grow as both one of the better tight ends in the league and really one of the leaders on your team.
Yeah, well, just the fact that he's been voted captain the last playoff captain the last couple years, 3 years, I think probably says everything. He has grown. I mean, we've watched him, everybody has here, grow before their eyes, fans included, and you know, he still though comes to work every day wanting to get better, and so you love that part of him. He brings energy every day. You know, I've been lucky enough to coach he and his brother, and they're both that way. They're just they're wired where they want to be the best, and but yet enjoy playing the game like no other, like you're playing in the backyard type thing. So yeah.
Let's go to Adam Orduna. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking a few minutes here. Kind of a different angle here. Talking about Jordan Ta'amu and what he might be able to offer for the quarterback room, no preseason games. What have you seen from him, and what would he be able to offer? Does he remind you of Patrick at all? Does he kind of have the same arm angles? What do you see from him as a young guy that might be able to maybe push for a spot here?
Yeah, tough time to come in as a quarterback in a year like this, but Jordan's worked his tail off, and it's evident to all of us that he has spent the time working. And so we have a lot of words that are calculating these plays that you got to be able to spit out in a short period of time, and he does that well. And then he's strong. He's a strong body, and he's got a strong mind, and that normally is that normally leads to good things. Now, how many reps is he going to get during this time? We're short on practices for the year. These first 5 practices, we're short on time, period, on the field. So he might not get as much time as we ramp up here, but his time will come down the road, but sure love his attitude.
All right, guys, we've got time for a couple more. Let's go Nate and then finish with Herbie. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you, in terms of Patrick, obviously third year going into camp, just what are you most looking from him this year in ways that maybe he can get better in terms of just leading the offense? And are there things that you guys have discussed that you want him to sort of identify and sort of work on during camp as you ramp up to the regular season?
Yeah, so it's been great for him up to this point, and where you always put in a few new wrinkles. Now you get to do it against a defense. And so he's powering through those. He's kind of learning what he can get away with and what he can't. Not worried about interceptions or anything else. I've told you that before. Now's the time to figure out the play and what you can do with it. And so that's what he's doing. And at the same time, we're continuing to practice the plays that he knows, but we're really trying to get a lot of work on the new things. So he has a chance to massage those and learn those.
Let's go to Herbie to close it out. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, this is kind of a big picture question here. Pac-12, Big Ten canceling their football seasons from a coaching point of view. How does that affect how you guys approach scouting this year? And what kind of word of encouragement would you give to those conferences?
Yeah, well, it sounds like they're working everything out right now, and I'm sure there are reasons why. They got a lot of smart people there. So I'm not sure of all the details of it. I'm not involved with that at all. It will add another challenge, I think, to our scouting department on evaluating players, but they'll work it out just like everybody else will, and go forward. But I got to tell you, Herbie, I'm kind of more focused on this than that, but I do have a son that's a coach, so a strength coach at one of the colleges, so I'm a bit aware of it. Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Okay, take care. Thanks, guys. Yep.